Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Today I am on FIFA 18. I'm showing you my first ever FIFA 18 squad, which is going to be a 100k Bpl squad like I started off last year. So I'm going to start off once again like I did, because this team is amazing and I've just brought it out 2 days after the actual games came out. But guys, make sure to hit that like button because this team is immense and it's so OP, as well as the strength, so you'll be able to get past any defender whatsoever. But guys, let's get into the team. So guys, to get into the team, before we actually do it, just ignore all these subs and obviously the manager. I'm on a tight budget, guys. As you saw, I'm on 803 coins, which isn't that great, but I'm just starting off where I've just traded, which is going to be a few more trading videos coming out on how I got 100k. But guys, to actually do this, what I'm going to do now is start off with my goalkeeper, and in goal, it is going to be Petr. Now guys, I've had Petr on many accounts. Obviously I packed him as well, but he's got 82 diving, 87 handling, 76 kicking, 81 reflexes, 83 positioning. And he's got 3-star weak foot, which I don't think really matters for an actual keeper, but he's 6'5", cost me 32,000 coins, and he's just solid for me. I just find him overall a really good keeper, always keeps in good clean sheets, and he's got some amazing reflexes on him, even though they're really low rated. Obviously him being really tall, obviously keeps when it comes in headers or corners or just high shots, he always saves him, so he actually never lets me down. But apart from that guys, he's probably my favourite keeper I've used so far in the game. Now moving on to our right back, I also packed him well, but he cost around 15k. He also does play for Arsenal, but you probably already know who he is already, which is going to be 100K Bpl. Now guys, he's just an amazing player. Obviously he had a really good season at Arsenal. He got an upgrade from like a 79 to an 81, but once again he's got that OP pace of 95 pace, 78 dribbling, 75 defending, not that great, 70 physical. Obviously shooting, passing, not that great as well, but 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, high attacking work rate, medium defensive work rate, which is a bit odd for him to be a defender. Now he is quite a small player, but he more plays as a right back, so if your right wing's not up there, then he can replace as you get good crosses in at the same time. Now guys, playing against him, he's solid. Obviously you can get the ball, literally run up the line, pass it to your striker or your right wing, or you can just play it straight into the middle, and he's quite a good handy person off the edge of the centre backs. But guys, speaking of centre backs, we're going to start off with right centre back, which is going to be another Arsenal player. Guys, I'm not an Arsenal fan, by the way, I'm a West Ham fan, but the player is going to be Mustafi. Now, he was 83, I believe, last season, or 82 in the last game before. Now, he's going up to an 84. He had a really solid season. Obviously, Arsenal didn't actually get into Champions League, but they did get obviously 5th. They had a bit of a rough season going in and out with, obviously, Wenger. But 83 defending, 79 physical, 67 pace, isn't that great, but still works out with the other defender. Now he's got medium attack and work rate and high defensive work rate. Now that's what I like to see, because he sits back and he's just solid in the back, so no one can get past him, as well as obviously FIFA 18's defending isn't that great. Now he's quite a young player as well. He's 6 foot tall and he cost me around 4,000 to 5,000 coins. I'm first owner, but I've had him on other accounts as well, and he's just solid at the same time. Now guys, the left centre back is going to be an Arsenal rival, which is Spurs centre back. It is going to be Sanchez. I believe that's how you say it anyway. He's obviously a new player that's just actually transferred from some other club, I do not know who, but he's an 81 rated centre back and he's absolutely solid. Now he's got 71 pace, which is a big upgrade for obviously Mustafi's pace, which actually kind of works in handy at the same time. Now he's got 81 defending, 83 physical, which just helps, and I've also put the anchor card in him, which actually I believe puts up his pace and defending and physical, which is kind of the main things that you need for a centre back. He's 6'2", and he's got a high defensive work rate, which I like to see again as well, which is just really good in general. Medium attack and work rate, which I suppose is okay, so you can actually score a few goals from headers. Now guys, he's got 3-star weak foot, 2-star skill moves, and he cost me 7,800 coins, which isn't that bad for a centre back like him, but I suppose it's just because the game's come out, and obviously he's a solid centre back, and whenever I come against him, I can never get past him, which is why I bought him. Now guys, at left back, I'm starting off with a West Ham player. Obviously me being a West Ham fan, I'm not being biased, but I just think he's probably one of the best left backs out there at the moment. But apart from that, that player is Mustafi, who actually scored a banger against Bolton. But apart from that, in the game, he's like Sanchez, he's just solid in general. With the 86 pace, 77 dribbling, 70 defending, 74 physical, 70 passing. He's got 2-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, 5'10", 1,000 coins, played 39 games and got 1 goal and 4 assists. That's not bad for a left back if you think about it, but for me, I just find him so solid. He's kind of like having that Sanchez at left back, but with more pace, obviously being smaller, and actually like being a Bellerin up the wing as well. Now he's got a high attack and work rate, which is also really good, and a medium defensive work rate, so if you need to be in defence, then you can do both as well as attack at the same time. Starting off in midfield, it is a CDM he's placed there. He's also another Arsenal player, so he does get a really good strong link into the Mustafi and Bellerin. That player is going to be Xhaka. Now guys, you're probably asking why did I get him. I just think overall he's quite a solid player. He's got the good passing, the good dribbling, but I'll go over his stats in a second. But for 550 coins, it's not that bad. he's got 72 dribbling, 72 defending, 78 physical, and 80 passing. He's got 2-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves. A lot of these players at the moment have got that because many of my players have been defensive, obviously because the defending is just so stupid in FIFA 18. But he's 6'1", he's a really good, decent player. If he does get a good shot, then he always scores it pretty much all the time. But guys, apart from this player, let's move on to the better midfielders. Now guys, at left centre mid, it is going to be another blimmin' Arsenal player. I don't know why I'm using these Arsenal players, I just find them a bit cheap at the moment, you know, just because obviously they didn't have a great season last year. But apart from this, I had to get him because I needed a good free kick taker at the same time. But apart from that, player is going to be Santi Cazorla. Now guys, he was 86 rated last season. He's gone down such a low rating, but he's still really good in the game. He's got 65 pace, which isn't that bad, but what I was looking at for this player was he's got 76 shooting, obviously well into the free kick, but he's got that 85 passing, 85 dribbling. And he's got 5-star weak foot, so you can score those bangers, and 4-star skill moves. He's 5'6", higher attack and work rate, which is another trait I wanted, and he's cost me 4,900 coins, so he's cheap for a centre mid like him, because most centre mids with those type of stats are a lot more money than you expect. But guys, at cam, I have got another West Ham player. He just come back from injury, but in the game, he's so solid once again. That player is going to be Manuel Lanzini. Now, he was 79 rated last season. He's gone up 2 ratings. Obviously, the Pyatt leaving and the problem of West Ham going, he was an absolute step-in player, and he became like West Ham's new star. With the 82 pace, 71 shooting, 78 passing, 86 dribbling. 4-star weak foot and skill moves, 5'6", medium work rates for attacking and defensive, cost me 5,100 coins. Now in 11 games he scored 5 goals and 8 assists. Now my other account, he got like 12 goals and 13 assists in like 7 8 games. It was just insane, but that was before the game originally came out, and that was an EA Access trial. But guys, this was just insane, and how sick it was, and I had to buy him because it was a lot more expensive before the actual game came out, so I bought the cheaper version for 5,100, and he's definitely worth the money. Now guys, we are going to the final actual front three. This front three is just insane, but we're going to start off with the right wing. But guys, apart from that, that player is going to be Silva. Not the David Silva, but the Silva that just moved from, I believe, like Porto or Benfica. But apart from that, he's 84 rated, 81 pace, 72 shooting, 81 passing, 89 dribbling. Now that is key for a player like him. He hasn't got the greatest pace, but that dribbling actually helps him, and he destroys that defense because he can get around anyone. He's 5'8", he's got work rates of medium for both attacking and defensive, 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Now he's left footed, so it's really handy because he can cut in and get a great finesse shot on the goal, and it pretty much goes in every single time. And he cost me 4,000 coins. For a player like that, that's really cheap, and that's what I was going for in this team. Now guys, at left wing, we are going to be having Leroy Sané, who's just a solid player, and he cost me like a ton of coins. Probably the most expensive player on my team. Now he's got that 94 pace, 77 shooting, 72 passing, 85 dribbling, and 70 physical. Now he had an absolute blast last season, especially in the Champions League, getting like 4 or 5 goals a game, whatever it was. But he went from a 79 to an 82, obviously moving, and he's got 3-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, and high attack and work rate, which I want to see. So I got both 2 really good dribblers on the wings, and obviously alright pace for the obviously right wing, but amazing pace for the left wing. So guys, this actually helps up the striker, but guys, he cost me 33,500 coins, which is a lot of money. I was going to go for Martial, but I found he was the better option in the end playing with him. And now guys, up front, I had to stick with this West Ham player. He's so cheap for his money, and he's just worth overall because his physical and pace and shooting is just solid. But guys, that striker is going to be Michail Antonio. Now he hasn't got the greatest rating, but he went from really about 78 to an 80. He's got 85 pace, which I find is really harsh on him because he had such a sick pace last season, and playing against this season before he got injured, he had tons of pace as well. He absolutely destroying Huddersfield, which is insane, but I suppose it's EA choice. 85 pace is still decent. He's got a 74 shooting, 70 passing, 80 dribbling, 82 physical. Now guys, I feel like on his physical, he's been absolutely battered with. Now you get players like William Dyer, who's got that 85 physical, and he's outstrengthened him. So I think he should get that 85 physical if he does get an upgrade. But guys, I'm not being biased because I'm a West Ham fan. I just think he's a tank, especially in the game, because he actually holds against defenders, and he's got better physical than some of my defenders at the moment. But guys, he's got 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Guys, he's got high work rates for attacking and defensive, 5'11", but still, even though he's that small, he can get some really sick headers in, and he cost me 9,800 coins. Now, this is my charts of planned games. In 25 games, 18 goals and 18 assists. But in my other account, he got like 17 goals and like 8 assists in, I believe, like 14 games, something like that. Really crazy, but he's just a solid player overall. But guys, looking at the overall team, it's a 181, which is really decent for a 100k actual squad builder. Now, if I was going to make any improvements, I would change Xhaka and possibly Santi Cazorla. That's my only problems I would actually change. They're still decent, but they just don't work as hard as the rest of the team. But guys, my players, obviously they cost the most. Well, obviously check and Sane, because obviously they cost 60k between them. The rest of the team is just so sick in general, because obviously they've got the sweaty pace and the good strength at the same time. But guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. Until next time, see ya.